And here we go, folks. We're here. My bad. A little late, I know. We're on our backup PCs here. So love tech, love having tech stuff going on. Great to see you. Michigan Call-in Show presented by FanDuel. Johnny Olden Jr. with me. How you feeling this week?
Feeling pretty good, especially after Michigan, had the win over Nebraska. That was good to see because Nebraska was undefeated. So it was nice to see them battle back and get the win, and we got Sparty on deck.
100% Sparty on deck, and look at that. Just transition straight to our FanDuel sponsorship. So as always, FanDuel is our sponsor. We thank them. Check them out. They have Michigan favored by 1.5 against MSU. And I have to say, Johnny, I do have kind of a weird feeling. I can't say it's like MSU is going to win, but I do have a weird feeling about it. And I don't know what I don't know if I would pick Michigan to cover this one or not. How are you feeling? I mean, obviously, great win against Nebraska. MSU lost to Nebraska. What are you thinking on this one?
It really comes down to turnovers. I mean, because Michigan hasn't been playing that good of ball of late. Not to what they were doing earlier in the year where they were just stomping everybody. Big Ten play has brought them back down to earth a little bit, and the turnovers are killing us. Cadeau is turning it over way too much for a traditional point guard, which is what he is. So it's just turnovers and sloppy play. Like if they get that under control, I think they can play with anybody.
I think you're right. I think it's I know there's been some close games recently. Yaxel has been kind of inconsistent. Hasn't been his old self. But we'll find out what happens. There's just something about little brother, and Michigan sometimes just has to let Michigan State know what's up.
That arena is going to be rocking too.
It's going to be rocking. It really is. I just want to shout out some of our members that are joining us here. We got Michigan Fan 52. We got Taves. We got Moose. We got Goat Since Yost showing off our new emoji, the Sharonley fans emoji. Oh, man. That's right, folks. Sharonley fans. We got that one. We also have the new Quinn emoji. So Quinn's here. Thank you as always for being here. So a couple of new ones here. Got Captain, who's a member of our Connor Stallions espionage team, Michigander, and Marmar. Yes, about fucking time. My fault. Don't blame me. There's literally, let's see where we're at here. Yeah, we're still updating. So we're gonna do it live. I do want to remind everybody, hit that like button as you join us. It just takes a second. It's free. subscribe to Michigan Voice College Football, and share this out with a friend. And of course, we know this is the call-in show. So what does that mean? That means for every $100, super chats, super stickers, memberships, membership gifts, they all count. But every $100, we go an extra hour. So let's see if we can hit it tonight. They said it couldn't be done, but it's the off season. But you know what? I think we can do it. I think we can do it collectively. So here we go, Johnny. This week, the Big Ten has released the schedules for every school, including Michigan. And, we knew it wasn't going to be the easiest. We knew it wasn't, but I do see some gems of hope. For example, 4 straight home games in a row. And some teams that I think we have a real good shot against, right? Like this is a schedule that it's at least hypothetically possible if Michigan is firing on all cylinders, you go into the bye, into the off seat with 5-0. But let's kind of dive in. Let's kind of dive in here. Western Michigan, pretty clear dub, right? Even if things go way off the rails, I feel pretty good about the Western Michigan Broncos and winning solidly in that game. Then we get to Oklahoma and the rematch. And I do think Michigan, I feel good about Michigan in this one. It's at home. It's going to be the new era. It's going to be a much more disciplined team. I think that was a big problem with Michigan this year, including in the OU game, being undisciplined. And also deciding, let's just inside zone over and over, despite the fact we have a dual threat quarterback who knows how to run the ball. Let's just not do any of that. I don't think that's going to be the case with Jason Beck and the offense that was number 5 in the country this year, Johnny. What do you think about the Oklahoma one?
Yeah, we definitely came in there last year with a horrible game plan. This year, we got more pieces on the offensive side of the ball, that's for sure. And you don't have someone sabotaging his own team, because you're playing scared. So that's a big help. Now, the question is, Mateer came back to Oklahoma, right? He came back, didn't he?
For the 2026?
Yeah, John Mateer.
So, yeah, he is decided for his senior year to go back to OU. He has passed on the NFL draft.
Now, John Mateer is a good player. He's played a lot of ball, but he's a bonehead. If you give him a push, he'll give you the ball. And he tried to give it to us, and he tried to make those bonehead plays last year. We got an interception. I think it was TJ Metcalf. Jair Hill dropped the interception. Hillman and other players missed out on big-time sacks that could have changed the game. So the plays were there to make him not look like a Heisman contender, and we just didn't make the plays. And then he looked like a Heisman contender against us because we didn't make the plays. So
right.
I think they can still be got. Like, Oklahoma will be a good team, but I think we can beat them.
I'm with you. I mean, Michigan and Oklahoma, they're both going to be changing around some pieces. I will say, I think this is a revenge game for Michigan after last year.
Sullivan, we need revenge.
Hey, 100%. And I just think that with the team that Kyle Whittingham is assembling, the 296 collective years of experience of this coaching staff, 296 years. It's a lot of years for this coaching staff. I forget who tallied it all up, but I saw a comment that tallied it all up, and I was like, damn, I knew it was experience, but almost 300 total years is a lot. So I think we got this one. It's going to be close. But I do feel like we could pull it out. And I'm going to dub on this one. I know it's controversial, but I'm going to dub.
We need it.
And
We need this
we
game.
need it. We need it. Just like this would be the first like major big game, unless you want to count Washington. This would be the first major big game win since the 24 Ohio State and Alabama
Yep.
run there. The fact that we did that while our head coach was preoccupied and chatting with OnlyFans models at halftime. The fact that we beat Ohio State, beat Alabama, and then went 9-3 this past year is pretty wild when you really think about it. And so with this team, with this coaching staff, I really do feel like we could do very well. Obviously, UTEP. I'm going to be 100% real that I haven't looked into the UTEP minors much yet. Definitely something I will do as we're doing our off-season content. But they've never really been a huge threat.
No,
I'm gonna give that one a dub, despite the fact that I do need to look into it a little bit more. But I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty clear dub.
Yeah, they're gonna get smacked.
Now, here we go with an interesting one. Is the Iowa Hawkeyes, the new look Iowa Hawkeyes that actually has an offense? And that does worry me a bit. Iowa, when they just had a defense, was already, they were winning 8-9 games with a defense and no offense. And now they have an offense. And yeah, so that one I'm a little bit interested to see like what happens there. It's going to be a competition, Iowa, between Jeremy Hecklinski and Hank Brown. So it's going to be a quarterback battle that Coach Lester is going to be orchestrating with those two. And then there's even a third person, Traydon Bessinger is a 4-star recruit as a potential third. So there's two at least that are going to be in this quarterback competition. And we all know that can be a challenge when you don't have that definitive starter. Given that Iowa has an offense now, I mean, how are you feeling about this game? Like your first reactions?
Honestly, I'm glad it's at home. That's the big thing is you get to be comfortable and in your own backyard. We're at home, so you don't have to go to Kinnick. That's their stadium, right? Isn't it Kinnick?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to go there and deal with the children's hospital in the shadows,
right,
softening you up. So it's that one's a game where Michigan's gonna have to strap it up and focus in like you are playing a juggernaut or a top team, because that's how Iowa is sneaky like that. You kind of take them for granted, and then they end up dragging you into the fourth trouble, and you got trouble on your hands. So they're gonna have to focus. That's not gonna be an easy win, not likely.
No. I feel better about it than I would if we were facing Mark Gronowski. I will say that. I think that he was a very capable quarterback for Iowa this year. So with that said, that's a tough one for me. I'm thinking we may drop this one.
Oh, you think that's a drop? You think they might drop that one?
I know that a lot of people would have it flipped. Oklahoma L and Iowa W, but we don't follow conventional wisdom, and I feel like this is one where you win one out of the two. Both are ranked opponents. I think we're gonna pull one of them out. So I'm gonna go with Iowa as the one that gets us. There's historical precedent to Iowa pulling one out. At Michigan Stadium, though, that does favor us a bit. But I just think for whatever reason, I just have a feeling Iowa's going to sneak it out.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It definitely wouldn't surprise me. If Michigan can find a way to win all of these games, that would be amazing.
Mm-hmm. It would be, I mean, we're going to be flipping cartwheels around here if they go 4-0 in this stretch. It is pretty cool that you have 4 straight home games. I'm going to give Ward Manuel a rare compliment that's a great move to do that, because it really gives Bryce, it gives you some time before you travel to Minneapolis. It gives you time to get right. It gives you time to get the offense the way it needs to be, the defense. You have all new coordinators, all new staff, and you have 4 home games in a row. So that works out pretty well. And then we travel. Then we go see the Golden Gophers.
Mm-hmm.
The Fighting PJ Flex. And something tells me that Michigan's going to beat the shit out of Minnesota. That we're gonna be upset about Iowa. We're gonna be, because I'm predicting a loss there. They're gonna play with their head on fire, and we don't just go to Minneapolis and win by like 3. We go to Minneapolis and absolutely drop the hammer. The real hammer this time, not the Fisher-Price hammer. And and I think we pull that one out at Minneapolis.
Yeah, for sure. I think they get smacked regardless. Whether we win or lose against Iowa, I think Minnesota is going to get smacked.
71 Quackhead says, I think we run both off the field. Look, I think that's fair. You aren't factoring in proper coaching. Yeah, I am. And that's why I predicted an OU. I don't know if you missed the defeat of OU that I'm predicting also. Yeah, so I'm factoring in coaching. But I also think we're going to drop one. And I think if we're going to drop one, it's probably going to be like OU or Iowa, and I'm just going to go Iowa. But it could be flipped as well. Dave's predicting 6-0 going into Indiana. So very interesting there. We do have that bye, and then we go straight into Penn State. And it's Penn State at the Big House. And it's Penn State with a new coach. And not just a new coach, but a situation where James Franklin raided that program. And he brought a lot of recruits and staff over to Virginia Tech.
Have they reloaded?
Penn State,
somebody's on the team, but
so Penn State. Let's see how they did in the. So Penn State is considered one of the winners of the transfer portal, but I see a lot of 3 stars. There is a 4-star safety. But I do know that a lot of talent went over to Virginia Tech or elsewhere. James Franklin, I've given him a lot of flack, but the one thing he could do was recruit. And Matt Campbell had a tough time kind of recovering there. So I just think it's going to be one of those building years for Penn State, maybe a 7-5 for them. I just don't see, like, if this was at their stadium, I'd think twice. But this is at Michigan Stadium. Probably could be big noon kickoff, which would be to our favor also. If Penn State's winning games and Michigan's winning games, we're probably big noon kickoff. I'm going Michigan dub in this game.
Yeah, this is another game where they're going to have to play. They're going to have to play still. Like, yeah, Penn State lost a lot, but you can't just can't take it for granted, especially with the transfer portal. In the past, it would have just been like, okay, we're going to smack them, and we still might just smack them. But with the transfer portal, you don't know how good those dudes that they're bringing in and how quick they'll be able to right the ship, at least for 1 year. Like, you don't know. It's possible they could have a squad next year and they surprise everybody. That's the strange thing about our schedule this year. I mean, is we've got teams that are unknown, like Penn State, Michigan State, that you don't know. But with the transfer portal, they could surprise you, you know.
Of course.
Just
Of
playing
course.
devil's advocate. Now, I do
Yeah.
think we're gonna smack them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it will be a competitive game. I don't think it's going to be like my Minnesota prediction where we just, win by like 30 points. I do think that is going to be a more competitive game. I'm just giving Michigan the edge in Matt Campbell's first year.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And then we get to a really interesting one, Indiana. And in Indiana, we'll have some new coaching hires. We'll have a new quarterback, Josh Hoover, who's coming over from TCU, is going to be the quarterback next year, which is why the younger brother Mendoza transferred out, because he wasn't going to have that starting opportunity. It is very tough coming, as we know, it's very tough coming off a natty to maintain that level. It's tough to bet against Curt Cignetti. I still think he's going to win 9-10 games minimum. But something tells me Michigan pulls this one off. And I know that it's tough, but by this point, we're looking at mid-season. Michigan's going to be rolling. You work out the kinks. And maybe with this coaching staff, you actually work out the kinks before the first game of the season. Maybe you actually identify the problems and everything and fix what you can before you go in and play the first tough game against OU. And so I'm betting on the coaching staff on this one. I'm betting that these are two coaching dynamites. These are two Hall of Fame coaches that are going to be going at each other. And so I'm leaning Michigan here. If this was an away game, I might be going the other direction, but home field could be the difference here.
Yeah, they you said the quarterback is from TCU, the new quarterback?
Yeah, so Josh Hoover was brought over, and he started 31 consecutive games.
So Alberto Mendoza left.
Yeah. He knew he wasn't going to start, so he exited, and
they've got like cartel villain names. Fernando Mendoza, you'll pay for this.
Yeah.
So
you killed my father, prepare to die kind of stuff. Yeah.
You're going to pay for this, Fernando Mendoza. So, but look, Indiana, all jokes aside, Indiana was the most well-coached team in college football.
Yep.
It wasn't close. Like, it wasn't close. The fundamentals, the scheme, the players, they knew that scheme and they knew their assignments and they weren't missing a beat. So this game is going to be a great. This is where we see how good Whittingham is, because Indiana, you can pretty much count that they're going to be well coached, fundamentally sound. So this is where we measure up and see, okay, how good is Michigan so far? How fundamentally sound are we? How much discipline has Whittingham instilled? This is the test right here for real. So this will be a real interesting one to see. Honestly, I'm not even sure what Indiana has. I'm going off of Cignetti, just his resume, Googling him, I guess you'd say. So this is at home.
Yeah.
Michigan. I'm gonna say the turnover, the Michigan plays a locked in game, and some of the attrition from all the players leaving from Indiana, and they're not quite what they were. I'm gonna take it. I got to.
So at this point, if we got Michigan beating Indiana, we're 6-1, assuming you've also got a loss somewhere in there. We're 6-1, which is, I think, a good place to then go to Piscataway, New Jersey, and take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And folks, again, this is where I think you're going to see the return of beatdowns. Just like with my Minnesota prediction, I think this is another one where Sharon Moore would have kept it close. Kyle Whittingham is going to have no mercy. Sweep the leg, no mercy. Cobra Kai, and Michigan just demolishes Rutgers.
Facts.
The only thing that gives me a smidge of a little bit of pause, Shiano's a very good coach, very good defensive coach. It may be that it's a low scoring beat. It may even be like you remember the Michigan Iowa Big Ten championship, the second one where we pitched a shutout, but it was low scoring. I could see that happening here. I could see something like that where Rutgers defense keeps it, at least a little bit under what's expected.
Yeah, we need to blow some teams out. We didn't really blow anybody. Our second string barely got to play. Like, I mean, they played, but that was in the first quarter. It was because of stupidity that our second and third string was playing in the first quarters of big time games. It was unbelievable. But we want to get back to the natural order of things where the first guy off the bench, they blow out the other team's first team. And then when the game is over, we put in our second and third string to close out the game. Can we get back to that? Because your starters are the ones that are the consistent guys. And then the first man off the bench, he's the consistency, not your third and fourth string. So we need to blow out some teams and get back to that. So our backups, our true backups can get reps. Bryce Underwood, who was his backup? Jaden Davis. What did he throw?
Jaden Davis.
Did he throw any passes last year, bro?
No.
He didn't get any reps.
No.
Not that we really wanted him to.
He handed the ball off.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe one. I there could have been one. Someone in the chat is gonna remember when we were in the fourth quarter of West Bumfuckistan and he threw one pass. But I don't remember a lot of throwing from.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do think he's gonna have more I don't think it's competition. Maybe a strong word, but he is gonna have quarterbacks that'll actually push him. Right. The guy from Colorado State, with the hyphenated name that I'm not even going to try to pronounce right now, Fowler, Agusi, or something like that. I think he's going to push Bryce. I think the guy from LSU, Hoover, he's going to push Bryce. But Bryce is the definitive starter. Yeah, like they're gonna make him earn it a little bit. They're gonna make him work for it a little bit more than Sharon may have. But I don't think when Bryce is on, he's on. And under Jason Beck and Coy Detmer Jr., I'm really feeling good. Jim Harding with that O-line. Jim Harding has produced top 5 in the country O-lines, right? So it just seems like it's going to be, and I know I said this in the preseason before last year, but this, this time I mean it, right? A very different coaching staff this time.
Facts. So we can smack Rutgers.
Yeah. Before we get to the last 4, I do just want to acknowledge Marmar and Tim. You guys are in queue. Don't you worry. After we do schedule, we'll start doing calls. If you want to call in, we are going 2 hours minimum. Why? Because Quinn dropped the hundo. That's right, folks. Quinn's back. Everyone hit the Quinn emoji if you're a member. Let's give Quinn some love. Quinn doesn't have to be coming on here and doing this, but Quinn does it because he loves the show. And we want to give him a lot of thanks for being here.
Definitely.
And then Go Blue, what are your expectations for the D-line in 26? Good question. I think that's an interesting one, right? Trey Pierce, Etta, I think are gonna be pretty good producers. I think a lot of it hinges on how healthy is John Henry Daly on the edge. Because we're being told he should be about 90% by the first game, but that doesn't. People said that about Rod Moore, that he was healthy. Like we're not going to fully know until they're actually like they've got the pads on, they're going at it. That's when we're going to know. Nothing else. None of this smoke that we hear. You got to take it with a grain of salt after multiple years of us doing these shows, right? We've kind of gotten wise to it a little bit. So I think a lot hinges on how John Henry Daly, how healthy is he? If he's healthy, look out. I think this could be a serious unit. And
you gotta hope that somebody has gotten better, whether it's Dominic Nichols, what's the other guy? Who's that? Nate Marshall, I believe.
Nate Marshall, yep.
So you're hoping one of those guys have improved, which they should. That's what the offseason is for, to get better. Take what the coaches are giving you, put it to the practice field, get better, come back a better player. And so we have to hope some of these dudes got better, because they didn't just go crazy in the portal.
Yeah. And don't forget Jonah Leah. He's going to be he's the Utah transfer is going to be coming in. Cam Brandt.
Oh yeah,
and I know that people have Nate Marshall ahead of Cam Brandt. I think all three, John Henry Daly, Cam Brandt, and Nate Marshall, are all going to get time.
Yeah,
at least the first couple of games until they figure out the two that they want to roll with.
Definitely.
Look out for Titan Davis to make an impact. Look out for Carter Meadows. Even I know he's just coming in, but I think he's one of those players that's going to be hard to completely keep off the field the whole season. Like I think Carter Meadows is going to have flashes and then, set himself up for 2027. So yeah, I feel cautiously optimistic, and a lot of it depends on John Henry Daly's health.
Definitely.
All right. So we've got the last couple of teams here. Let's talk Michigan State. The Michigan State Spartans coming to Michigan Stadium. They're going to be coached by Fitzgerald, aka Coach Weenie Wash, and I don't think they're going to do well. I have a feeling that Fitzgerald's first year is going to be just kind of keeping the ship afloat before building in 27. He's got a very spotty win-loss record at Northwestern. One year he has a half-decent season at 9 wins, 10 wins. Then he has like 2 or 3 straight where he wins like 3 games a season with Pat Fitzgerald. So I think his first season at Michigan State's going to be very much that second one, right? I think he's going to be just kind of getting his bearings. I don't think they're going to come in red hot like in Indiana. I think we're going to win, but this is one where it's going to be weird. Like this is one where Michigan's going to win, but it's going to be way too close because it's a rivalry. Both sides are going to be fired up. Maybe it's at night. We all know that they like putting them at night sometimes. Yeah. So I'm thinking Michigan wins, but it's like by a touchdown.
I can see that also. Pat Fitzgerald, I'm sure he understands this rivalry, and he'll have them ready to go. And like you said, when he was at Northwestern, they were similar to like before the transfer portal and all these players could move around so much. they're like a Iowa, where if you play them when they've got all these juniors every 3 or 4 years, when they've got all these juniors and seniors, you're gonna have a headache on your hands that Saturday. But then they all leave, and then it's kind of okay. They're back to winning 4 or 5 or 7 games, something like that, or whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do at Michigan State, a place where they can get more talent, more top end talent. They just got a bunch of money for the athletic department, so it'll be interesting to see. But I don't think they're ready yet. No, I don't think they'll be ready yet.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you there. I think it's gonna take some time. So let's go to this one's a tough one. At Oregon Ducks at Eugene. Yikes. Oof.
This is a tough one right here.
This is a tough one because I think a lot of it hinges on the trenches. I feel good about Jim Harding and the O-line. I think he's going to get that unit really to the point where they could play. And I think even the defense, they're going to be better. But this one's tough to call a victory for a lot of reasons.
I want this win.
Talent. Yeah.
I want this win because I can't stand Dan Lanning with what he did 2 years ago with the "Are you not entertained?" all that crap, but they're locked and loaded probably. I mean, for the most part, they are. So it's going to be tough to beat them. And in Austin, that place is probably going to be rocking. So it's we probably going to take an L on this one.
So I think a lot of it's going to come down to, can we pressure Dante Moore? We had a very difficult time pressuring any quarterback, especially Ohio State with Sayin. And if you can't get to Dante Moore and you're just going to let him do what he wants, then that could be a recipe for disaster. Yeah. I have Oregon winning, but I think Michigan's going to make it a game. Like I think this isn't going to be one of those just whoopings like under Sharon Moore. Some of those games were whoopings. I don't see that here. I see that they slug it out. It's a heavyweight matchup. Oregon just comes up a little bit, with a little bit more. So I'm going to go Oregon so Michigan takes an L on this one.
This one is big also with seeing how disciplined and how fundamentally sound we are on defense, especially because Oregon does a lot of things where it's just, if you don't come up fundamentally sound when they throw these swing passes and screens and able to get off blocks, you're gonna lose. Like if you're missing a lot of tackles, they'll destroy you with a simple game plan. Like, so this is another interesting to see how disciplined the team is, how fundamentally sound. But I think we lose this game though.
Yeah. And then we're gonna have a team to beat up on, the UCLA Bruins. Now, I will say that I have a slight bit of concern about Bob Chesney, right? Because they're trying to pull a Signetti at UCLA because they're taking the JMU coach. I just don't think that they're going to be at the point in season 1 with everything that they have to do to rebuild that program. I just don't see how Michigan drops this one. I feel like this one is a pretty clear dub.
Yeah. Is Nico still there, right?
Nico, I'm a leaving.
Yeah.
Nico is playing under Bob Chesney. He is coming back
with Samaj. We got trouble on our hands.
Oh, that's right. how did I not remember this for so long that Samaj the Flame Morgan is going to be one of their starting wide receivers likely. And so that really changes the equation here. I think we're going to win by another touchdown now. Actually, yeah. Put me down for a very comfortable win. I don't think we're going to win by as much as Minnesota or Rutgers, but I think because I actually have a lot of respect for Chesney, but I think we're going to take it by like 10 points, 2 touchdowns, something like that.
I can see us getting up in that game and Samaj crashing out on UCLA's sideline if it's not going how he wants. I can see him crashing out on his own team.
Cole Moat says if he's starting, they're desperate. Thank you for being a member. I think there's a limit to the talent pool out there, and Samaj does have enough talent where I don't think he came over to be a backup, because he could have stayed at Michigan and been a backup, right? Like if the question was, is he going to start or be a backup? Well, at Michigan, he would have been a backup, and we probably told him that. Like, we probably told him, you're likely going to be a backup, but you can earn playing time. That's why he transferred. So,
do you think he's blackmailing the UCLA coach?
Yeah. Yeah, sources are saying he's got to find a whole new thing to go after him. Yeah, I'm giving Michigan a pretty clear dub here.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the game in Columbus. The Michigan Wolverines are going to go play the Ohio State Buckeyes. And I'm going to delight everyone in the audience because I think Michigan takes it. I think Michigan takes it because first of all, there's now a revenge aspect. Second of all, I think Michigan is very frustrated because last year you had a head coach that was distracted. And I think that had a huge impact, the lack of discipline. Ohio State's biggest weakness, as we saw against Indiana, as we saw against other teams, a highly disciplined, highly functional football team that's tough in the trenches. Yep. That's Ohio State's biggest weakness, and now we've seen it multiple times. Even though Michigan, I did disappoint some people with the Iowa and Oregon predictions, I think Michigan rallies to beat the Buckeyes and go 10-2 for the 2026 season.
Yeah, and the thing that's puzzling to me about Ohio State is last year it seemed like Ryan Day's game plan was he was preparing offensively all year to play Michigan. Which normally, because normally people say, "Oh, Michigan, you guys scheme to beat Ohio State. Ohio State schemes to win national championships and to beat the best of college football." They didn't do that last year. They went to more of a Michigan's type scheme, running the ball, eating up the clock, time of possession. So I'm interested to see what they're doing this year, because it took me off guard with what they did. And that's still not how they should play, honestly, with all those receivers.
Yeah, this is going to be the first year with no Brian Hartline in a long time. This is going to be, I don't know about their new OC, right? I understand Matt Patricia proved everybody wrong, at least for most of the season, until they faced Indiana and Miami. But I do believe that Arthur Smith is different, right? Ryan Day is going to have to be the OC. Ryan Day is going to let Arthur Smith play call against West Bumfuck But against the big games, I think Ryan Day is not going to be able to help himself, but to jump in and play call. And if that happens, I just don't know. Like the double duty thing has not really worked for him. I feel like what works for him is when he has an OC that he can trust, Chip Kelly.
When he play calls, it doesn't. They always hype it. It's so funny because Ohio State fans always hype it up, but it doesn't give them good results. They always end up losing when he does that. When he takes over the play calling.
Yeah, and he tends to turtle up and he tends to run the ball. He tries to out Michigan, and it actually kind of sort of started to work because of Sharon kind of and the program going down in terms of discipline and accountability and all the things the last 2 years.
Yeah,
I just think Kyle Whittingham and Doug Elisaya. I don't know if you've been looking into him, but man, does that dude run a tight ship.
Yeah, I don't think that scheme is going to work. Trying to out Michigan again.
No. Yeah, it only worked because we were distracted this last year, and like you said, Johnny, Ohio State prepped all year. They were laser focused for once on actually beating Michigan. Like they were laser focused on it. And you got to give them credit for that because usually they're not. Usually they're all about the playoffs. They're all about the national championship. They don't care as much about. That's what we were told anyway. After the 4 straight losses, well, we don't care about this game anymore. We're looking for the playoff, the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
But they really did go all out this year and spent resources to get us, and they did. And so good for Ryan Day for finally getting one in this decade. And with that said, we're 10. I'm 10-2. If I did my math right there, 2 losses. My 2 were at Iowa
and Oregon.
So I had Iowa and Oregon as my 2 losses. Yeah. So, and I do think that would be amazing, right? Like that would be a damn good season. If that were to happen. This is a tough schedule. Like there's no denying this is a tough schedule.
It is. Like this is a tough schedule, but you got a better coach. You got a better coach. And this is how it's going to be. Like you're not going to get many easy schedules anymore.
Right?
You might get a year where you got 3 cupcakes and you're out of conference, but your conference schedule is probably going to be brutal from now on in the Big Ten at least.
Yes, we did, Ross. So I am very thrilled to say that Justin Tress is no longer the strength and conditioning coach. It is now Doug Elisaya and his team that came over from Utah. 20 years working with Kyle Whittingham. We've got the Polynesian angle. We've got it just like that accountability, that like what he brings to the table is such a higher level than
first game we come out doing the haka. Can we do that or we can't do that?
hey, whatever gets the dub, I'm down for. How about that? With that said, thank you to Michigander, and then we're gonna get to calls. So we got Marmar, Tim, and Jackson on deck. Michigander 10-2, L to Indiana and Oregon, and beat the Buckeyes. So Michigander and I were fairly close, but just he picked an Indiana L, I picked an Iowa L. This would be the more conventional wisdom.
Yeah,
Indiana and Oregon, both top 5 ranked programs, makes
there's
all
a
the
bunch
sense
of games that are possible L's. Like,
oh yeah.
So pick one.
Yeah. There's a lot of possible L's on here. I will say this. I was ready based on what we knew about the schedule when Sharon Moore was still the coach. I was preparing for a 6-6 type prediction.
It was
Maybe.
coming.
I mean, it was. I think everybody would have needed to brace themselves for a 6-6 type prediction from me.
Yeah,
but in
it
this
was coming
case,
though.
yeah. But here you've got an excellent coaching staff. We talked about almost 300 combined years of football coaching experience. I think that you're going to see vast improvement on both lines of scrimmage, and I think that's one area that Michigan has traditionally been really strong, but has struggled, especially in 25. After Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant went to the draft, that defensive line struggled. The pass rush wasn't there. It shocked me, honestly. And I think we get back to form. You'll see the trench play come back, and you'll see a very strong run game. I still think Bryce, it's going to be very paint by numbers for a little bit, just getting him. Like I think Jason Beck's gonna take some of the thinking away that was causing delays, right? Like, nope, here's your read, go. Like, here's your 7-yard, here's your 5-yard, 7-yard slant, go. That kind of stuff, especially early on. Here's a QB counter that's already designed. Just fucking run it. Like, I think we got to get back to basics there and just get him in a rhythm. And I think Jason Beck's the one to do that. I'm really excited for what Jim Harding is going to bring to the O-line. I'm excited for Lewis Powell on the D-line. I think we've upgraded at almost every position. Micah Simon at wide receivers coach, and the guy from Penn State whose name escapes me.
I'm so glad Ron Bellamy is gone.
Oh my! When I was crossing my finger because they said they were gonna retain like 2 to 3 members of the previous staff, and I'm just like, oh, Ron, like please anybody but Ron Bellamy.
Yeah, it's time for you to go, bro.
And it's not just Ron Bellamy, right? There, like Brian Jean Marie, there were others that were definitely on my need to go list. JB Brown, of course, but he had already been fired. But yeah, that I think we had a major upgrade at the wide receiver, and everyone seems to think so, from players to families to. There's a reason Andrew Marsh decided to stick around, right? And there's a reason that these players are back. They're back because they realized, oh, this is actually going to be an upgrade. Like this is actually going to be, more of a high octane passing game with 11 personnel than we've seen before. Jason Beck plays a lot of three receivers on the field.
Mm-hmm. And I think with Bryce Underwood, I think he's still going to have some inconsistencies with learning the new system and finding his way in the new system. But I think he's going to have some games where he goes nuclear. I think he's going to go nuclear on a couple teams. Not sure who it'll be, but he's going to have some games where I think he goes for maybe runs for 170 and throws for 300 or something like that. Like he's going to go nuclear in some of these games, I think.
Yeah. I think you're right. And we've seen flashes of that, right? It's not like we haven't seen it at all. Like we've seen flashes of it. It's just getting that consistency. I actually think he played pretty well for a decent chunk of that bowl game.
He did.
Got into his head. Like it started to get away from him. It started to get into his head. But there was a good stretch there where he was like, his fundamentals were better. His decision-making was better. Like they were clearly working on it.
He put together some really good halves this year, but not many really good total games. Like, man, you can that whole game, Bryce was on point. Like Nebraska. Nebraska first half, I believe was pretty good. Second half, not as much, I want to say. Northwestern first half, really good. Like, okay, we cooking. Second half, oh boy, what's happening here?
Yeah. And let's face it, Bryson Kudsdahl, I know he's back. Thank you for coming back. let's face it, Jordan Marshall not being in the game played a major role, because I think Jordan Marshall's in the game. It takes some of the fire, takes some of the need for Bryce to sling it down.
Yeah,
right.
You got
Marshall
somebody
just break off for a touchdown.
Yeah, you got somebody you can lean on, because he's like I was telling I think that was Garrison or whoever, comparing Bo and Jordan. I said Jordan's better. Jordan Marshall is a complete back, meaning he don't have to come off the field. It don't matter if it's third and short. It don't matter if it's first and 10. He doesn't have to come off the field. Whether you want to use him in pass game, he doesn't have to come off the field. At goal line, he doesn't have to come off the field. Complete back. Pass blocking, he doesn't have to come off the field. He's steady Eddie. That's just what he is. So that always hurts. That hurt us. That hurt us against Ohio State, and it hurt us against Texas.
For sure.
And Northwestern.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Northwestern. We had a members only watch party for that one. We did 3.5 hours. Some of the members are here that were on that, and I'll tell you what, that was teeth clenching. That game.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me, because he got hurt on a big run. It kind of reminded me of Illinois 2022.
Oh, yeah. Blake Corum went down.
When Blake got hurt and fumbled, and it was like, oh, my God, we're fighting for our life now.
Yeah. Johnny, I went to that game. And I don't know if you remember, it was like 10 degrees. And normally I can handle pretty cold. But I didn't wear the right shoes, so my feet were not doing great.
That's the whole battle with being in the cold. You have to prepare and wear the right clothes.
Yeah, I had everything else going. I had the layers. I was fine everywhere else. But I will say, I was thinking, did I fly all the way because I was still living in Florida at the time? Did I fly all the way from Florida to watch Michigan lose to Illinois? No, because thanks to Money Moody, we won the game anyway.
Yep. And the rest is history.
There we go. Okay, folks, who's ready for calls? We've got in the house, starting off is Marmar, a friend of the program. Marmar, what up, Doe?
What up?
What up, Doe?
You got the Michigan trucker? Okay. Okay. We see you. You ain't got
Yeah, you feel me? Hey, I appreciate it. I thank you. You be having a hat game, Johnny. You still got can you resend that to me? When you told me to get the hats at?
Oh yeah, I got you.
Tax season in play.
There it is.
It's true.
No,
you muted.
So the thing about my kids was asking me a question. The 22 games you're talking about Illinois, you also didn't mention Isaiah Gas, JJ2 to Isaiah Gas. He got like 10, 15 yards.
Fourth down.
Yeah, and that's what got Moody into field goal range, and we walked it off.
Isaiah Gas.
You know, I gotta. Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah.
I know y'all were discussing, this coaching staff and the schedule. Kyle Whittingham is like 3-0 against USC. When Lincoln Riley first came there, he beat him twice. He beat him in that first year, and then in the second year, he beat him twice. The first year he beat him twice in the Pac-12 championship, and then I think at Utah, because it was a comeback win, and then the next year they went to USC and came back and kicked the field goal and won that game. So he's 3-0 against Lincoln Riley and USC. and then he's 2-0 against Dan Lanning. He's 3-0 against Michigan. So I just think I'm very high on Kyle when it comes to them tough games. I believe the reason why he didn't bring the Utah defensive coordinator is because he got and I know Jay Hill had struggled against Texas Tech, but he had him in that game for a while. That defense was in that game for a while. It was just the offense, the BYU offense couldn't score. The defense held up, and then like what we went through in 24 is that you keep your offense, your defense on the field so long, it started to wear down. So that's what happened with the Jay Hill defense in the Utah Texas Tech game. But in the Texas Tech game with Utah, they just couldn't. The defense just sucked. So
Right.
I just believe that this coalition that he brought from Utah and BYU is nice. And then he added that special team assistant from Air Force.
Yep.
And then Kerry Combs. Did you listen to the interview with John Jansen and Kerry Combs? That was very inspiring.
Not that one. That's cool though.
Hey, so he basically said that Sharon Moore was making these boys sit in meetings longer than what they were needed to be, and practicing special team more than they needed to be. So it just tells you that Sharon wasn't. He just didn't know what he was doing. Then the team came out and talked about Justin Trash, that he was trash. So I believe in his coaching staff. I believe that he hired a lot of double assistants, double coaching, to get the double result up out of this team. We retained a lot of guys that were on the Sharon Moore team. And what you brought up, Johnny and John, is that they came back to see what it. I think they just bought into the message of Kyle Whittingham. Like you say, there's adults in the room. Everybody's saying there's adults in the room. There's no more children, no more college student as a coach in the room anymore. And I think you're gonna get the best results up out of that. Did y'all see that video today of them working out, people puking? Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's so great. It's so great. And remember, like Utah was the physical team in Pac-12 for so long. Like it was Utah and everyone else was soft as baby shit. Like USC soft, like Oregon soft, like especially pre-landing. So I think that Whittingham, I don't know if you heard earlier in the show, it's 296 combined years of football experience on that coaching staff. 296 years. And it shows. And even in the little bit of film that we have seen. So yeah, that's why I'm 10-2. That's why I'm predicting a 10-2 season.
You said what? I didn't hear you, John. I'm sorry.
You're good.
I was just dealing with my son.
You're good.
He's out of control.
Yeah. Yeah. Not there. Not. Yeah. Just got.
Don't have kids. Don't have kids.
Don't have kids.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Not in 2026. Hell no.
Yeah. Maybe.
You're gonna have an AI baby. Nah, man. Hell no.
Yeah, we're planning on one. We're planning on one.
Adopt.
But yeah, so I was just saying, I think because of the coaching staff, I think we're looking at like a 10-2.
On my assessment of the schedule, I think we'll be in every game. The thing with me is, can we close it out like we did in the four quarters when Jim Harbaugh was running it?
Right. Yeah. I really want to see the return of blowouts. I really want to see the return of.
I think it will, and I know Iowa. You say Iowa have an offense, but the last couple times we didn't play Iowa with a competent coach, we have shut them down.
Yeah.
I was at one of them games. Because we in the last 3 games against Iowa, we 3-0. The blowout in the first Big Ten championship back in 21. Then 2022, we goes to their house and Blake Corum hit that dude with the shimmy shake and then take it to the house. And then the Big Ten championship in 2023, our last good run, they shut them out 23-0. I was at that game. Pretty dope.
Yeah, we were talking about that, the 2023 Big Ten championship.
Yeah, it was dope. And then with Penn State, we don't know. Like you said, you don't know what you're gonna get. But if you watch Matt Campbell last 2 seasons, you know what you get. Indiana lose a lot. They come to us. I think that'll be a tight game. I think Michigan can pull that out because of Kyle Whittingham. He just like Kurt Cinetti. He was getting more results with less in Utah, just like Cinetti was doing at James Madison, then brought it to I just think Kyle's gonna have the same success that Kurt Cinetti has had in Indiana. I'm not going out on a limb and say we're gonna win the national championship. I'm saying that he's gonna have them better fundamentally sound, playing together, team over me type thing. And you can see it that they bought into the message. You know who I want? And we still got the last signing day looming. I want Kelvin Obot to flip to Michigan.
That'd be nice.
That'd be crazy. That'd be another 5-star added to our already 3 5-stars.
Yeah, we got Moa. As far as I'm aware, I think Obot's a little bit tougher to in terms of the package that he's being offered to like. So I don't know. That one is a tough get.
And you know who to call, right? Dolly Parton, Jolene.
Right.
Let's go.
Let me touch on something real quick. People in the comments talking about Savion Hyder, and the running backs.
Yeah.
Jordan, people have to understand production means everything. Hyder is a freshman. He ain't played no college football. I hate to break it to y'all. Yeah, the highlights are great. They look beautiful. Me and TJ and John, we pull it up. We all get happy. But guess what? Jordan Marshall doesn't play college football, and he's played it at a high level.
Yes.
So to think that Hyder is going to take his job just because high school, he still got to prove it. He still has to get acclimated to class. He still has to learn the playbook. He still has to execute the playbook on the field. This ain't Madden. This ain't college football 26. You got to prove it on the practice field and in the game that I'm ready. I understand that blitz is coming and I can pick it up. Bryce Underwood isn't getting blasted because I missed an assignment. These things matter. So you can't just plug in guys and then we do this, and then when the season starts, we're like, man, why aren't we seeing him? Well, he's not showing it on the practice field. He's making mistakes still because he was in high school. Now you're in college. There's a difference. This is not big difference. This isn't a video game. So we have to hope that he is everything that we want him to be, and that mentally he's there and he can handle playing college football. There's a difference.
And to add on to what you're saying is that, in my opinion, as I shared with some guys at work that are Michigan fans, I said Justin Haynes got Jordan Marshall run game better. And the reason why I said that is because, you know how Justin Haynes would hit the hole and just take off? Jordan Marshall wasn't doing that. Jordan Marshall was not doing that until that Nebraska game.
Yeah,
when he hit that hole and took it
here then. Yep.
Yeah, and Justin Haynes taught him that, helped him get there. And that's why I think Justin Haynes left. He said, "Oh well, I got Jordan Marshall to where he need to be." And another point that Johnny made about Savion Hyder is the mental aspect of college football because in high school, you the main guy on the team. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing mental about that. All you doing is getting handed the ball against lesser competition on your high school or in your league, and you just running over them as y'all showed the video. Who was stopping that boy? Couldn't nobody keep up with him. But now you going to a higher level from where you coming from, and you got people on that speed level as you were in high school. Just like Bryce found out last year. Oh, this ain't high school. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, we'll see, you know what I'm saying? He might be running back number 2 later on. But like I said, I believe in his strength and conditioning. They showing out here showing video. And like I just said, the dude on my dude on the phone a few minutes ago. The strength and conditioning with the sports performance and everything, just remind me of when Ben Herbert was there. And they had all them guys and Jim Harbaugh. So, because Kyle Whittingham is 3-0 against the 3 new Michigan coaches before Sharon Moore. He was 3-0.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it's like a blessing in disguise, if I want to say, that we got Kyle Whittingham. We getting back to Harbaugh ball.
Yeah, I agree.
And what's really intriguing about this coaching staff is that they out here hitting the road, running in the recruiting trail. They posting pictures with all these players. They making trips every day, and they're not just showing up with 2 or 3 coaches. They showing up with 5 of them.
Yeah,
that's big to me.
There are parallels, right? Because if you remember when Harbaugh was at Stanford before Harbaugh wasn't winning games against USC. But when Jim Harbaugh came in, Stanford started beating teams like Pete Carroll's USC. And then he goes to Michigan, right? And he brings that culture, that physicality to Michigan. I feel like it's a similar situation here where Kyle Whittingham had Utah beating teams like USC, beating teams like Oregon, with physicality over finesse. Like the finesse of Lincoln Riley.
Hey, we all need to pitch in some money, like $300 a piece, and go to that Oregon game.
They gonna be rocking out there, boy.
Hey, I want to experience that.
And you know he's gonna have them hyped for the Michigan game just because it's Michigan. You know the history of Michigan in the Big Ten. Dan Lanning, he always hypes all that type of stuff up, extra money.
But he's 0-2 against Kyle Whittingham. And Kyle Whittingham knows his tendencies.
This is true.
And that's what football. So I want to touch on something about the Buckeyes. People started to pick up on tendencies of how Matt Patricia was running that defense. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if Johnny was paying attention to the Lions when Matt Patricia was coaching them, because he came in hot. And then people picked up on his tendencies, and we started sucking. And what you notice, even in the Michigan game, when Jordan busted off that run, you knew that could be a problem all day. But it wasn't a problem because Jordan went down. But if he didn't go down, that was going to be a problem for them to stop, because that's what the game plan was. Then you go see Indiana duplicate that in the Big Ten championship. Then you see Miami do it again in the playoff game. Yeah. So Matt Patricia people learned him. And it could be ugly next year later on in the year for Ohio State. And I know people will be like, it's Ohio State, it's a 10, nothing is guaranteed, because what Johnny brought up, you don't know what these transfer players going to bring to the field. You don't know. You don't know how good they're going to be. Yeah, they've replaced guys, but they only replaced guys. They only brought in like 13, 14 new guys, and they lost over 30. So Um, and then you don't know who your third receiver is. And I'm not hating on the guys. I'm just saying, like, it's the new era of college football. And did y'all hear about Rutgers losing all that money?
Oh yeah,
They've been lost over
tremendous debt.
$255 million debt. They in like $250 million debt.
How did they lose their money?
Because
trying to keep up.
Just trying to keep up. And what I brought up a year ago is that teams, here in the next 5 years, the bigger schools are gonna be the main people that's making the playoff. Like you seen in the tournament last year in the NCAA tournament. Yeah, it was small teams that made it, but none of them made it past the Sweet 16 or the round of 32. And it was all in the Elite Eight and the Final Four. It was all big schools that put money into their basketball teams. The small team thing, the Cinderella story in college basketball is over. Because the money they can't generate the money like the big schools. And Nick Saban left Alabama because he knew he couldn't compete paying $200,000 under the table anymore and new cars to people because now there's bigger money.
Yeah, the money is in Texas. You got Texas, you got the North, and then you got out west where there's some money. But that mid-south, ain't no money. Ain't no money there. Not real.
And Alabama gonna look the same as they did last year. I'm sorry, but Kalen Russell might be an upgrade from Tyler Simpson or Ty Simpson. I'm just saying. I just think he got the upside. I'm not saying he's gonna go out here and put up 300 a game. I think he's gonna be able to use his legs. I think the board gonna make him use his legs more with his arm too. So I think Alabama gonna be okay. I think this LSU, we don't know because they spent money last year. I know they had Brian Kelly. They had the #1 portal class last year because Bryce went to Michigan. They used all that money to get the thing. So I don't know what Lane Kiffin gonna look like at LSU. The only team I think that's gonna be good in the SEC this year is Texas.
Yeah,
I just think Texas is gonna be better than what they gonna learn from last year, and I think they finished the year off good. They beat us. We was in the game with them, but I just think Texas reloaded in the transfer portal. I think Arch Manning gonna be better.
Yeah, Arch
I think week 2 we tells.
You
don't you? It is crazy that
he actually had a progression this year, and it was crazy to watch because he was booty cheeks and slowly got better. Where you're like, okay, this dude is.
Because I think they simplified it for him because he rode that bench for the last 2 years. So they simplified it. Sarkisian finally woke up and simplified that offense for him where he can be more comfortable in it. Week 2, Michigan. I think the Oklahoma-Michigan game is on big noon kickoff. Why I say that? Because it's at home. So like last year, Ohio State and Texas was on big noon. So I think big noon get that game. And then ESPN gets that night, later on that night, it's Texas and Ohio State. Like we did the week 2 with Oklahoma on ESPN. And Sharon Moore lost that game for Brett Venables. I'm just telling y'all.
That's gonna be a wild week 2 with us playing Oklahoma and the Buckeyes playing Texas.
Because people gonna be talking shit all day.
That's for sure.
Oh, that's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna be at the Oklahoma game. Them tickets $400 a piece, but I don't give a fuck.
You got it.
Now I'm working on something right now. Don't. Hey, listen. I'm working on something. We'll get it together. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got my LLC, so
look out. Look out. All right, Mar, you got to.
I appreciate y'all having me, man. God bless. I hope y'all all holding up well. I'm still hurting, but I just, I'm not talking. I don't mean to talk stuff to people, man. I'm just hurt, man. And I got to put on this armor of God every day, and it ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just, I don't ever have time to just sit there and reflect on that situation. And again, I appreciate you, Johnny, for throwing that show for me, but it's tough right now. So I miss that little dude. Yeah, I miss that little dude.
Of course.
I get it.
But yeah, man, go blue, man. Did y'all get it? So since they dropped the schedule, are they gonna drop the announcement for the spring game so I can get my orders in together?
I hear the 18th is looking more and more likely.
I hope it was warm like it was last year. That was nice weather.
It was awesome.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, GT, I appreciate you. I love you, brother, man. I love y'all, chat, man. Go blue, man. We in a better space. We in a better algorithm with the Kyle Whittingham era beginning in 2026 September. And why they push it out so far? I want the August game.
Yeah, I got you.
We gotta wait the whole what is 9 months? We gotta wait a whole 9 months.
I know. No August this time.
I love peace, man. So
all right, later,
bro.
There is one thing he brought up I didn't get a chance to round back on, which is the running back situation, right? So we did get some intel from a source that is really close to what happened with Kudsdal, who basically told us that he came back to Michigan because he saw a path to playing time. Mm-hmm. So Kudsdal thinks he's going to have starting reps, or at least be on the field somewhat. And so I could see, given that, I think Jordan Marshall's your RB1 all year. I think if he stays healthy, he's your RB1. I think Hyder is so legit, but it reminds me of a Blake Corum, like an early Blake Corum situation where they're going to have him here and there. Yeah. But I don't think you're keeping Jordan Marshall off that field if he wants to be on that field. And then your backup, it could be Kudsdal. Kudsdal, I think it's going to be Kudsdal, Kaapana, and Hyder kind of all battling it out for that RB2. And I could see a situation where it's Kudsdal, and then Micah Kaapana goes to do special teams. Mm-hmm. I can see that. And then Hyder takes over RB2 when he's ready. Now, I don't think Hyder's going to be RB1 this year. I know Moose has him RB1, and I respect that. But I think that'll be next. Like, I think he's going to be RB1 or RB2 or like a starter more in 27.
Yeah. And the thing and that's why I was telling people production means something. Showing that you can play at this level, it means something. Kaapana's barely played. So you don't really know. For him to overtake Kudsdal, he's gonna have to be way better in practice.
Right.
Hyder hasn't showed it yet. He's gonna have to be way better in practice, or it's gonna have to be like, man, we have to put him on the field before Kudsdal. Kudsdal has shown that he can play, and he's got the opportunity to get better this offseason. So you don't throw away proven production. You just don't do it. When you've got somebody that's proven, unless it's just obvious, the other guy is just, man, he's ready. He's ready. But we don't know that yet with those other guys. So you're going to bring back proven production. You can trust it because you saw it. I don't get what people, come on.
Exactly. So GT is currently in a 3-week vacation in New Zealand. So GT throwing the the 5 New Zealand dollars, and go blue from New Zealand. John, I know you can relate because I got sunburned in 2 minutes. I can relate, GT. Anytime I go anywhere with sun and there's beach and I'm spending any more than 5 minutes, it doesn't matter if it's SPF 100. I'm gonna be a tomato. It's pretty much guaranteed. Like, there's not enough SPF in the world. I'm gonna be a tomato if I'm out too long, especially in like an area like that. So appreciate you coming by, GT, even though you're on vacation, and for supporting us always. Sharonley fans, with one of the most hilarious names and avatars in the game, to the point where it's an emoji now for members. So fellas just got home from the hospital after my wife gave birth to our second son. Wow. Congratulations. I'll be listening from the start with some Weller Antique 107. Okay. We getting Liddy? We're getting Liddy in here? All right.
That's
wow.
something to celebrate right there.
That's incredible. Let me know his name. Let us know his name, and that's very exciting. Try to get a little bit of sleep before you don't have any sleep for a while.
I hear a good name, 2 good names, John or Johnny.
Hey,
either works.
That's it. I love it. And then we've got Gary. Just bring on the Super League so we can stop pretending group of 5 teams can win the Natty. Promotion and relegation can also work. So I will go to my grave in saying that UCF 2017 could have beat Power 5 teams that year. Okay, so that UCF team in 2017, they beat some legit opponents, right, including Auburn in the bowl that beat both Alabama and Georgia. So I could see UCF 2017 being the exception. And Cincinnati that one year with Fickle was pretty good, but then they got kind of whooped. But in this era, all the G5 teams that have tried have just been getting absolutely curb stomped. So that's a tough one, right? That is a tough one. Maybe there's one that's good enough to contend, and we'll get another UCF type situation. But I don't know. There could be a situation where Group of 5 has their own playoff, which I think might actually be a better situation. More revenue. A TV network could sponsor it, and then you get another whole round of football. You get because I know I'd watch, like, if you had Power 4, then you had Group of 5 playoff, I'd watch. Screw it. Like, why not? So there you go, Gary. So we are up to date. And Johnny, I'm going to put on the 5-minute timer. That's right, folks. I'm bringing it over from Postgame because we are still a ways away from a third hour. So we're going 5-minute timer with the next 3 callers. And so let's bring up Tim. All right, we got Tim in the house.
What's up?
Go Blue.
What up,
Go
Tim?
Blue. He did his thing. The basketball coach. He heard the cries after what happened in the big house. And he told the boys, y'all had that mindset that y'all can do what the football team did, y'all gonna be in trouble, and that's why they lost. They had that mindset. The football team can win in the big house. The weekend can win in Chrysler, but the basketball team said no, we're not like the football team. No, I'll go with bring home. I'll go with to get back to I'll go with the play in the Final Four, and you ain't gonna stop us.
Yeah, we getting our rings finger sized, Tim. We trying to get this natty and b-ball. Some other schools, when football season is over, their sports season is pretty much over. It's really off season. But we're blessed enough to, when football season is over, we starting up with basketball. Like, let's get it.
Yeah. The big showdown is tomorrow, and
Yeah.
Dusty May, Dusty May, he gonna learn from his Ty Nizzle mistakes, especially that kissing thing. But the good thing is it's not senior day.
I just want, for once, can we have our football and basketball team both doing well? Why is it one or the other? It's been that way for a long time. Like, if the football team's doing well, basketball team has to struggle. Just 1 year where we get both. Wouldn't that be nice?
It was in the 90s.
In the 90s, yeah.
When we had the Fab Five, and we had the great Lord Card.
Absolutely.
You want to know? You want to know with some of these other channels they not but talking about? He still got pressure. Ryan Day. Cause after after he won in the big house, everybody they thinking that he's not on the hot seat, but guess what? He still is, because the last time that they beat Michigan outside of the big house was 8 years ago in the horseshoe. So they went a total of 8 years without beating the Michigan at home, and that's going to be a big struggle. And guess what? They about to face against when they played the Michigan, they about to face a sophomore, and the last time they played against a sophomore quarterback in the horseshoe, 4 touchdowns by JJ McCarthy. It seems like it might be a repeat.
McCarthy. Yes, there he is.
It looks like they might try. I have 2 games where I could see them doing a maze out. It would have to be against the Oklahoma, or they might try to do a 22 repeat against
Michigan
our
State
rivals, Penn State.
Okay,
but that might be but if they do that, that might be too much for the new coach. I don't like the new OC for they new the OC. He coming from the Pittsburgh, and I'm hearing that if they do this, it's gonna be a stupid idea. I'm hearing that the 5-star freshman, he might start over Brent Ennis. He's a senior, and he proved he had it. Just supposed to he's a senior veteran. He gonna be a senior, and he got way more starts. And a freshman, and just like what I a running back. Oh, okay, okay. No one, but no one can stop him at any plays in high school. But this is college.
Yeah, college is different.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Tim, you want to give us a final thought? We're gonna wrap up our last callers here.
We're not losing to any rivals.
Okay.
That's what I like to hear, Tim.
So are you going 12-0 like Marmar?
Yeah.
12-0, you heard it here first. Marmar and Tim back-to-back predicting undefeated seasons. There
No, I'm not predicting under the defeated. I'm just saying that we're not losing to any rivals. And okay. Guess what?
So Michigan State, Ohio State.
They about to do some. So we about to do something historical. Now Michigan, they about to do something historical. They about to beat the Spartans with two new head coaches in year one, and they haven't done that before. The first time they done it with Sharon Moore, and he ended that curse where it seems like that every time that we have a brand new football coach in year one, they always losing to Michigan State. But Sharon Moore, his first year, he ended that.
Yeah,
it looks like
it's true.
It looks like we're not going back to the old days.
I think you're right, Tim. You wanna let people know where they can find you real quick?
Y'all can find me on my YouTube channel, the Thunder Ratman Show, and y'all can find me on YouTube. I'm working on some things, but we're still doing this. We're still doing this YouTube shorts. So
nice.
And one more thing,
check that out.
I do think that they have a harder schedule than us, because they gotta play. They gotta play the hard teams that we gotta play. They gotta play them too, but it's not at home. Yeah. They gotta play. They gotta go to Kinetic Stadium. They gotta go to Bloomington, and the USC game, or that might the USC game. Lincoln Nawari, he trying the you know how Ohio State he trying to we all know that USC, they know for bubble screens and screen passer and perimeter game, but Lincoln and Wiley, he trying to simulate and have a copycat Ohio State screen game. So that sounds like when Ryan Day will have to play against Lincoln, the Wiley, and the Colin Lucia. To me, it probably will feel like the defense is going against Ohio State in practice, and the offense is going against Ohio State in practice, because they trying to simulate a Ohio State offense.
There we go. All right, Tim. Go Blue. Everybody subscribe to Thunder Redmond Football Show, and we'll see you next time.
And TJ, well, I really don't know why ain't you on the show the show, but if you ain't feeling well, we hope you feel better.
Yeah, he's got some business stuff with his other
and Marmar
org. Yeah.
And Marmar, yeah, your son, he loves you, and he loves you, and you, and he's up there with Jesus and God and Moses, and they taking care of your son very well.
Absolutely. Love
So they
that.
got your sons back. So
Love that. All right. Great words, Tim. We'll see you
Definitely,
next
Tim.
time. Okay. Go Blue.
we will see you Sunday if there's a show.
I'm gonna be back, Tim.
Yeah.
He's gonna be back. Barbershop is back. Love it. All right, let's so I'm gonna do my best to keep to the 5-minute timer here because we're gonna be rolling out here soon. Unless another $76 would unlock a third hour. Let's go, Michigan man. How have you been?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
What's going on, bro?
So, a couple things I wanted to say. I know I don't have too much time, but one thing I think that I'm hearing all the talk and all the college football media, one thing that I think everybody's overlooking is the experience Bryce had last season. Say what you want about it, but that experience, and I said this all last year, I said next year, all this experience that these failures that he's having right now, it's going to pay off this season. Like, I think being on the road in Oklahoma as an 18-year-old freshman, like, you know what I mean? Just like, there's certain things like you just got to feel it. You know what I mean? And I think like him getting that experience, I think everybody's overlooking it. So I'm looking with some development. I think like because I believe in Bryce, you know what I mean. Like I think we can go to the moon with him. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is that John, what you were saying about the FBS teams, what I think they should do is take like the two teams and have their own national championship right before the playoffs start, and it'll be like the inaugural kickoff game into the playoffs. And I think that would be way better.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
you take
that
like
would
the
be
national champion of the G5, like some of those lower level divisions and stuff, and then they face off.
Yeah, because you could have like their national championship game, the top two teams playing for right before the playoffs, so you could focus all your attention on that and hype that game up. You know what I mean? So it could mean something to them.
Sick.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then it would add a little bit more skill to to have to get it to be able to unlock your spot in the playoff. I like that.
Yeah, we don't need to expand the playoffs for God's sakes.
No, I think we're good. I think we're fine. I know it's going to happen, but
so it is going to 16. What next year?
No, I heard
may still be
at 12.
They're going to stay at 12. That was up in the air though till very recently, Johnny. That was up in the air. So yeah, I think they're staying at 12 for this one, and then they'll look at expanding after this year. I think that's where we're headed. But I do agree. I think we're headed to more. But the more teams that get added, the more blowouts we're gonna have, because the more shitty games we're gonna have, because then you're gonna have like 5th seed go up against 16th seed, and you're looking at a team that maybe they went 8-4, and they're going up against, let's say this year's, I don't know, I forget who was number 5 this year, but like let's say it's like Oregon going up against I don't know, South Carolina that went 8-4. I could see that being a 21-point Oregon win. So I don't know. I just think the more teams, the more blowouts, and I don't think that's great for college football. But it's the almighty dollar.
Yeah, and also the other thing too that's got to stop is the over-evaluation of certain teams when they play other teams. So then you can say later on during the season, "Oh, look how many top 25 teams this team played," and it's like, "Oh, okay." So I guess Tennessee and South Carolina just started being good out of nowhere. Okay.
Yeah,
like I've seen it, especially with Bama and Georgia. Like you'll watch these lower tier SEC teams, and all of a sudden, like, why is Mississippi State in? Like, what are we doing here? It's things like that. That way, later on in the season, they can say, "Oh, look how many top 25 teams this team has played." When the arguments come in at the end of the season that we all got to have every year.
Yep, that's a fact.
So, if it were my dream world, I would just say, let's just have a Big Ten SEC showdown at the end of the year and see who's who, so we can stop all the talking.
Hmm.
I think the Big Ten kind of stopped all the talking already.
Well, it depends on what argument you want to have. I agree with you, but
even Paul Feinbaum said that the Big Ten is a better conference right now.
Yeah,
I think kind of have to accept it at this point. Like your talking point, it's dying on the hill that you can't stand up. Like it's not. There's nothing to stand on. Michigan won the Natty. Ohio State won the Natty. Indiana won the Natty, and there wasn't even an SEC team in the national championship the last 2 years.
And it wasn't even close. I mean, Indiana was taking Bama behind the woodshed. I mean, it was a complete curb stomp.
No, because you had Michigan, Washington, then you had Ohio State, Notre Dame, Miami, and Indiana. There's not SEC ain't even making a Natty.
And top to bottom last season, the Big Ten was better, and that played itself out to the end of the season.
Yeah, it did. It did. So,
because it was always saying we were. Go ahead.
The college football world is readjusting because now it's becoming fact. Before it was like, maybe, but now it's becoming fact where you just got to kind of accept it.
Because the Big Ten was like, the Big Ten schools were like, hey, we got money.
Are we spending money now? Oh.
Yeah. Oh, we can spend money. Yeah.
We got hospital money.
I talk about this a lot, but if y'all haven't read The Price yet, The Price is such a good book. What It Takes to Win. It goes into all of this stuff. It goes into how Nick Saban looked the other way when people would give the handshakes with the cash and the checks.
You got to stop letting Ed Orgeron go on podcast. That's what's really killing him.
You don't care.
Hey, I still hold out hope he's going to coach somewhere and it's going to be hilarious. And
he's one of the greatest coaches of all times, and I'll die on that hill.
Yeah. That 2019 season was great. Was one of the best teams I've ever seen.
Oh, real quick, one of my last things, John. Hot take, very hot take. I think Mr. Brightside has to go.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
We need to have a come to Jesus Michigan fan meeting about this, and we need to have it. I
think it was a hot take before the Sharonley fan stuff. I think it was a hot take until that news dropped, and when that news dropped, it became all right. Yeah, maybe we should look at actually change. So I don't think it's.
It doesn't have to be nothing crazy, but something a little better. Like, even when we won the Natty in our 23 season, we're smashing the shit out of people, knocking motherfuckers out. Yeah. And, they got Mr. Brightside playing, like hyping the game up. I'm like, come on, man. Like, and I've tried so hard to get behind it. I've tried to like it, and I just ain't feeling it.
This is the
I've always liked the song. I like the Killers.
It's not that it's a bad song, but it's a bad song for Michigan football.
This is the strange thing about it, though, is we've grown to not like it. But over the years, it's become a staple, and other teams, NFL, college, they're all copying it now. They're playing Mr. Brightside now. It's weird.
Yeah,
I
would be Michigander. You have a point. I really Seven Nation Army probably should be up there.
But then, I don't want to fuck with and put some, fuck with the juju and all that, and mess up the aura of our program. Something weird like that.
I know.
I mean, it's become a staple at the start. What is the start of the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
Now they play it at people's weddings. You
see what I'm saying? If it wasn't, it's kind of a movement thing now to where. It's awesome. It is awesome. So everybody wants to steal it now. Everybody wants to do it now. Other teams, NFL and college. So I don't know.
So what you're saying, Johnny, is that we're stuck with it?
Change it then. I don't care. Change it.
No, I hear you. We stuck with it.
We stuck with it because it's become a thing. Like they couldn't the college football, the video game, they've got it on there. Like they wanted to make sure they had it on there, it's
one last quick thing is I've figured out why. Yeah, I've also figured out why everybody hates us. I figured it out. I
Is it
figured it out.
Mr.
No,
Bryce
hear me out
fault?
on this. Hear me out on this.
Everybody?
Yeah, no, we are a very hated program, and I didn't find this out till about a couple years ago. I didn't realize how much people really hated us. But I figured it out because after you've been through and gone through and had everything happen that with us, traditionally speaking, that's supposed to kill a program. It's
Yeah.
supposed to kill a program. You're not supposed to
Sure.
keep winning to all out that, and then after it's all said and done, get a great coach and completely have a whole new outlook on your program coming out of it. You know what I mean? That's why they hate us. It's like every time they think something's just gonna kill the program, it doesn't.
Yeah, no, I mean that's valid.
And you just
They're
gotta
mad.
laugh at them when they get mad because they just mad because they
You're
can't
right.
never win. You know, it's always these
Michigan
programs that
beat
never
the
won nothing.
NCAA. I
We
can't
had an
believe
endless
it.
wave. We had Burgergate, then we had Stallions, all of that, and then Sharon decides to dip into the well, and had his problems, and it's time for a new era. And that's why, I know people are like, well, Jay Harbaugh would be good to come back, and I'm down for that in the future. But I think right now a paradigm shift, just away and into a new era. We'll always be thankful to Jim Harbaugh for what he did, and even Sharon Moore for play calling in that game, in those games in 23. And but I think it's time, and it just seems like with Whittingham's staff, the adults are in the room. So, Michigan man, always great to have you here. And
Always.
see you soon.
See you soon, guys.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yep.
Okay.
Honorable mention: Trapped, Headstrong to replace Mr. Bryce.
Okay. So we've got Seven Nation Army. We've got Trapped, and there was another one. Somebody. Cinderella Man from by Eminem. Yeah, Eminem's tough to like. Cinderella Man would probably be the song out of because a lot of his songs are not really like that type, you know what I mean. That one I could see Cinderella Man. I could see that. Okay, we've got one more call, and this guy is the charter member of the Connor Stallions espionage team. He's the man. He's the myth. He's the legend. Keith Rebar.
Hey, John. Hey, guys. How's it going?
What's going on, Keith?
Oh, yeah. Michigan man's got it all wrong. The reason they hate us, John, you know this, is because the referees, all the other coaches from the other teams, and a lot of the players, they tried to get into Michigan and they couldn't.
Oh, good call. Yeah, it's a tough
and they
school to
hate
get
us. That's known nationally. I had 3 years of my career in Texas, and they even admitted it down there. It was they didn't like it because it's so hard to get in. Yeah. The other thing is the schedule. This is the only thing that I've noticed myself on this, and I've not heard anybody else say it. But
Let's hear it.
what the Big Ten did was they made the Giants play all the Giants, and what I'm calling the midgets play all the midgets. If you look at Michigan State, Northwestern, and Rutgers schedules, they're cake compared to not only ours, but Ohio State's got a really hard schedule. And Indiana.
Do you think Michigan State's schedule is cake when they're at Notre Dame, they're at Michigan, Washington, and then Oregon? They have Michigan, Washington, and Oregon back to back.
Michigan, Oregon, and Washington is going to be tough for them, yes.
Yeah.
But we have 5 big games. They have 3 big games, it sounds like.
Yeah.
We have 5. I think Ohio State has 6 big games.
Well, I think last year the big time teams had favorable schedules where they only had 2 other big time teams in their schedule.
Yep, absolutely. But Oregon and Indiana both face Michigan and Ohio State back to back. If you look at I watched this show as they came out, and I looked at each one for instances like that. And both Oregon and I don't know what Penn State's got, but I know Oregon and Indiana have Ohio State and Michigan back to back. Those two teams have a good chance of coming out 1 or 2 losses out of that stretch of games.
Keith, are you in a
fading
tunnel?
away?
I just got to keep my speaker close to me.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
It was like you were you were going underwater or something.
Yeah.
But you're back now.
Okay. I also got to make sure I'm not covering up. I'm on my phone. Yeah. Yeah. And so yeah, it's going to be fun. And I said in one of the comments that I commented on somebody, I said in one of the comments, it's going to be ironic is that when one of the bottom half of the teams finishes a game or two better than some of the elite teams, the lower teams are going to get in, and those big teams, whether they be Penn State or Oregon or USC, they're going to be crying Dixie when one of the lower guys came in with more of a cake schedule and gets the playoff spot. So
I see what you're doing here. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and you know what that does? Makes every game important. Not only for the top half of the league, but the bottom half of the league.
I do think Rutgers. I feel like I'm more with you on Rutgers, even though they also have 4 ranked opponents, and they've got some weird ones too. But I do see that one's a bit easier than MSU's at least.
I see Washington as a much easier game than Oregon is, though. Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Keith, what's your prediction for Michigan in 2026?
I am getting in trouble with my best friend over this, but I'm not convinced Bryce is our good enough quarterback to play for Michigan. He had a mid-season last year. The 2,700 yards is okay, but 11 and 9 was his touchdowns, and then he got 1 and 1 in the bowl game, so he ended up with 12 and 10. 12 touchdown passes is not good enough to play for Michigan. So we got to see how Bryce does, and then I love Winningham, and I think he's an upgrade over Moore. But but he is a Big 12 coach.
Keith, you would be an upgrade over Moore. Johnny would be literally anybody who I feel like both of you guys would be an upgrade over.
Yeah. But we also have an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator, and so I'm preparing for the worst for this team because I just can't get up. We ended up 16th in the transfer portal. I think we were 19th into recruiting, high school recruiting. We just didn't have such a wow of an off season unless Winningham and Burke and Hill are the greatest coaches, the next Signetti tubes coming into the league. It's all up in the air, and I've heard that song and dance before that this is going to be great. You know, we're going to go 10-2, 16-0, whatever. Yeah. I want to see it on a week-to-week basis. That Oklahoma game is going to tell us a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know how they say how the turntables, because normally it's you talking me off the ledge, and this time I'm going to be the sunshine one, because I think what Bryce had to endure between being literally just turning 18, he had his senior prom like a couple of months before the season. He comes into a situation where the head coach is getting some on the side, and the assistant is literally it's an open secret. She's walking around. He's trying to stay at the facility late to learn And then Sharon's like, yeah, go somewhere else. Like, I don't know if that's how it went down, but you know what I'm saying.
Get out of here, man. I'm trying to do something.
Actually,
do something in here. And so,
we need to research this a little bit. We need to research this a little bit because somebody said.
Let me finish real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
So not only that, but also the coaching itself for Bryce. You're going from Chip, double duty, and a guy nobody's heard of named Synagoga, and then you're going from that to Jason Beck and Coy Detmer Jr., who turned Devin Dampier into a legit quarterback over the course of that season. Look at Dante Moore's true freshman year. Look at Rayola's true freshman year. Look at any of these quarterbacks. I mean, look at Arch Manning at the start of this year, and he had 2 years sitting on the bench. Like, when you're starting out, there is a curve. And so that would have been the case even if the coaching was amazing. But the coaching was distracted and everybody was undisciplined. It was an awful environment for somebody to start their quarterback career at. And now I think you have the right situation. You have the right coaching staff. You have an O-line coach that's going to be top 5 in terms of the protections so that Bryce can throw the ball more and have a little bit more time. I'm feeling great about the Bryce of it all. I'm feeling less great about linebacker and some of the other position groups there, but I actually cautiously optimistic given what we saw Dampier.
I was surprised to see you with the 10-2, and that's I would love to be there, but I'm just afraid it's going to be 8-4, 7-5 even. It's just we have a lot of tough games, and we really haven't had that well of an off season in terms of personnel compared to other people. 16th and 19th is not impressive in the rankings.
Well, recruiting doesn't mean as much as it used to.
No. That's one thing I want to say about not Peterson, but Hyder. Hyder, if he's another AP, they're going to put him on the field. It's just we saw that with Trayvon Henderson when he went to Ohio State. He walked on as a freshman and he set everybody on the bench behind him. And they had a couple of 5-stars, I think, sitting on the bench. Yeah. Henderson.
Trayvon Henderson went off his first year. He went off.
That's right. So, yeah, and I'm expecting, and Hyder's supposed to be the best one in the last 10 years. That means he's better than Trayvon Henderson. If he is, we could have another Barry Sanders or AP-like type college running back.
Yeah, we hope so. We hope.
Yeah, even Bo Jackson this year at OSU.
Bo Jackson. Mark Rogers and I talked about him a little bit, and I don't even think he's a day 2 draft pick in the NFL. I think he's just a serviceable back.
Still got himself quite a bit of playing time. That's all I'm saying there is like it follows the pattern. But yeah, I could see Hyder playing. It's going to be very, very difficult to unseat a healthy Jordan Marshall. I'm not saying he can't unseat Kutzdahl. I'm not saying he can't unseat Micah Kapana. I'm not saying he can't unseat if they do decide to play Taylor Tatum, which I do think they're going to wind up playing.
Yeah, on Kutzdahl real quick, I just wanted to say, I don't think it was the chance for playing time that brought him back. I think Michigan matched or came very close to the best offer he got out there. And so he said, I'll just take the money. And I'm not going to be an NFL running back. I might as well just get the money I can get.
Man, I wish I could tell you who our source is because they literally said playing time is a big part of it. Also, the Michigan of it all, like the Michigan brand, the college itself, his fellow players. It was a combination of things, but playing time was like the first thing he said.
It was the first thing, huh? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. That's I just don't see how it's going to happen with Jordan and Hyder. I mean, unless is Hyder in camp yet? Or on campus yet?
I don't think he is.
I don't
think because he was. Let's see. Is he still in Louisa County?
Because if Hyder is not progressing as quick as everybody thought, then there's going to be an opportunity. Yeah, it's because some running backs do take a little time to come up to speed. Corum came up right away. Yeah, Corum could run right away from as a freshman. And our best ever, I think, as a freshman was Jim Hart.
Oh, you know what? Keith, he's on campus.
He is on campus.
Yeah, because he had he actually did an Instagram story on like the day he came, and he had, like Raising Cane's in this. If you guys remember, it was like Raising Cane's in there, and he was showing Ann Arbor in his Instagram story. So he was there early January.
Yeah, because you know how the practice thing is that they've got windows that overlook the practice fields, but they have to keep the blinds shut. The players can go in there and participate on their own and practice on their own, but the coaches aren't allowed but to practice like 30 practices in the spring and 30 in the fall. But one of the Michigan coaches got in trouble for opening his blinds one day, if I remember right.
These rules are so wild.
Yeah, but that's how it is. So I think all the players can see each other and how they're doing, and they go to the weight room together and they go out in the field and they do the sprints and run the plays and stuff. And maybe Kuzdal was given playing time, because that would make me think that Hyder is not progressing as fast as people would hope he would.
Yeah, well, I will say this. Let me be clear: a path to playing time, meaning he still has to earn it.
Yeah. Like, okay.
They're not. This isn't the era of promising playing time.
Promise to compete. Yeah.
It's just promise to compete, which is how it was under Harbaugh, how it should have been under Shuren.
Right. Okay. So yeah, and that one, that's easy to give. If you can promise everybody, even the Cabanas, give them promise to compete. You know.
Yeah. And I think they'll find a place for him, even if he's not in the 2 deep. I think he could be a special teams, like a returner. I really do see that for him.
Right. Oh, and I wanted to close on, I talked to Mark Rogers about this. I said, we had almost 30 people go in the transfer portal, but most of them came back. And I said, is that common anywhere else in football? And Mark says, no, that's very unusual if that's happening. He wasn't aware it was happening. He doesn't follow it. And so yeah, is that I think what's happening, a lot of these players are going out and they're getting a profit share, which is maybe like $100K or something. And Kuzdal goes to, say, Cincinnati, he's going to get $100K, or he can be a third string at Michigan and get $100K. He'd rather come here and get the degree, and and make the same money. So I think that's why most of the Michigan guys came back, because we're so deep in NIL and profit sharing that the guys sitting on the bench are paid well at Michigan.
Yeah. I forget who said it, but I remember seeing like the vibe of the team is, whether you're getting paid $50K or you're getting paid $5 million, you got to earn your spot.
Right. So okay.
There could be some people fairly well paid that sit, and I could see it. Right, Whittingham doesn't mess around when it comes to running his program.
And we have two experienced quarterbacks coming in behind Bryce, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure they were given promise to compete too.
Yes.
Yep. So I said that on another show earlier. It was on Mark's show because Matt Zimick was on. And he says, now that's a good idea. Bring somebody in to push them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Davis and Warren weren't going to push much of anybody.
No.
No. Yeah. Well, good, guys. Great show as always. And hopefully we'll see. Oh, no, it's you guys on Thursday. No, it's TJ usually. Hopefully we'll see TJ soon, but it's always good to see you, John.
Likewise, Keith.
All right. Have a good night.
Go Blue.
Go Blue.
Yeah. So to answer that, so TJ had other kind of work obligations tonight. So he asked Johnny and me to step in. And so we're here rocking with you the last 2 hours on Michigan Call-in Show, brought to you by FanDuel. Well, Johnny, we've hit that point. Any final thoughts here? We've gone 2 hours, and just thankful for everybody who's here and all the members, all the folks that stop by these things. What's coming up for you?
Oh, what do we got? I've been on a siesta, so
okay.
Yesterday, me and Juju, I'm doing a new show, and it's really Juju's show, so he can talk all that recruiting that I don't have time for. But Juju he's deep into it, so doing something with him. So expect
Locked
to see
in,
that
yeah, on
Wednesdays. And Tim called me out, so I'm probably gonna do the Sunday call-in show. So
I feel like it's not a Sunday.
Yeah.
If the barbershop isn't on. Like, yeah, I really do think it's like part of it now. I mean, I try to stop by when I can, like, and just say hi in the chat. It's a fun time.
Yeah, so I'm doing that, and I'm also working on another show that I'm not going to talk about too much, but be on the lookout for another Saturday show where it's more debate, where we can get into best players from the past and comparing NFL college players, who's the best running back or wide receiver, things like that. So expect something like that coming pretty soon.
Okay. Wow. Well, watch this space. Sounds like some new content. As for me, y'all know Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here, Voice of College Football, Michigan. And then I did just pop a new video last night talking about Brian Nord, the new hire for special teams, and just breaking down his career. And it's literally under 8 minutes. So check it out if you want to learn about our new coach. And then, yeah, we'll be back Tuesday. I do want to, there's a new little bit of our show at the end here. So I think you're just hearing about this, and a lot of people haven't heard it yet. So what we're doing now, just like a lot of other YouTube channels that are, that have members, at the end of every show, we're going to literally thank every single member in a quick little, just a slide for Connor Stallions, a slide for those who stay, a slide for Leaders and Best, just to thank all the members as we sign off. So you'll see every single member. And if you want to join that crew, definitely let us know. We'll get you the link. The link's in a couple of places, but we'll get it to you. And you guys can become a member. Also, even at $2.99, you can enjoy the emojis and the badges. That's basically what that level is. It's to support us, but it's very bare bones, because we know not everybody has $10 a month, right? So we got the Leaders and Best tier with some new emojis, which is exciting. We got those who stay for $4.99, and that's the most popular one by far. Most people are in that one, right? It's $5 a month, and that one gets access to the member hangout. So we just did a hangout the other day on Monday night, and we had a great time right before the show. So that, and then of course Connor Stallions, Keith, one of the first, maybe even the first member of the Connor Stallions crew. $9.99 a month. So with that said, we will see you next time. Until then, go blue, and we'll see you soon.
Go blue.